This is really topical, given the phenomenal achievements of Jordan Spieth this year, and in particular the role that his putting has had in that. He's been the most fantastic putter on tour the whole year. And of course it hasn't gone unnoticed that his approach to putting is a little bit unconventional. So for his longer putts, he would approach putting in the same way as anyone else. But as I'm sure you're probably aware by now, with his shorter putts, he doesn't actually focus on the ball, he's more focused on the hole. So he'd get himself set up the same way the rest of us do, and line up the putter, looking at the ball. Just before he takes the putter away, Jordan would then turn his head and actually look at the hole. And in doing this, you've got to imagine he's a lot more task focused on what he wants the ball to do as opposed to his stroke. This is beautifully natural, it works on a number of levels, and it's well worth giving a go. I think this could be a massive game changer. So let's consider how that works. First of all, movement scientists talk a lot about perception and action coupling. And what that means is creating a closer link to what you see and what you think about and what you're actually trying to do in the task. So a good analogy would be if I was rolling the ball, then I wouldn't be thinking about my arm and the hand or my elbow. I'd be really focused on the line that I wanted to roll the ball on and imagining seeing the ball go in the hole. And of course, when we stand over the ball and we look down at the ball, for me certainly there is that disconnect with where the hole is and my end goal. So let's try and create a closer link to the task and our action. Also, when we're looking at the hole, you're much less likely to be thinking about your technique and where the club face is, where your elbows are, etc. And sports science repeatedly proves that to be a better way to go for putting at least. And thirdly, of course, it also enables the putting stroke to perform without any tendency to move the head. So coaches are always pointing out that when good putters go through their action, their head stays really still. But there is always that temptation to watch the ball go in the hole and lift our head too early. Well, frankly, if our head is already looking at the target, then of course it's going to remain still. There is no temptation to peek at the hole. Now, I can imagine what you're thinking. If I'm looking at the hole, aren't I likely to hit the ground or maybe misstrike the putter? Well, there has been a notable study of late where there was a group who looked at the hole, there was a group who looked at the ball. In actual fact, there was no difference in terms of variability with putter strike and the place that it struck on the club face. So it makes sense. It's very natural. To me, certainly, it feels right, and there's a lot of science backing it up as well. So if you're going to take on this action, you need to put some practice in. It's not going to happen overnight. It's very different. But for me, it would seem a lot more natural than looking at the ball, trying to putt somewhere out of our awareness. Well worth giving it a try. See how you get on.